Hello, everybody, and welcome to This or That. We're back after our dark week.
Our long break.
What happened last week? No one really knows. NA teams didn't play.
I watched some European stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah, I hear Flash Wolves destroyed the entire European region single-handedly. We have 6 slides today that we've never seen before.
That in there.
That's what happened. I'm sorry. 7-1. We have 6 slides. We're going to talk about this or that, or
True.
if they cheat and have 3 options like they did a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
Let's get into the first slide.
Other one.
Or the other thing, I think, was the
Let's start it up. Boom.
better use of blast cones on offense or defense. So
I was like, how do you use some blast cones?
Basketball, there's now 10 people going towards the same hoop. That's not how basketball works. And then defense is just a D and a fence.
So offensively, they're almost, I say like 80% of the time used by junglers.
Yeah.
Because I use them all the time, you know, early pathing and stuff, trying to get over walls for different kinds of ganks. But most frequently, I see them, especially in pro games, when they're on camera, they'll be just defense things that are spur of the moment, like, oh no, you got caught, you're around a blast cone and you pop out. I think that most of the funny plays come from defense.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, right? Because there's effective uses on offense and defense. Offense is almost always for gank pathing. Defense is almost always to escape after counter jungling.
Yeah.
I think it just increases the value of supports making sure they're clearing out blast cones when their team's not going to use them.
And mid laners.
We have to pick a this or that, so I'd say the better use is probably defense, since a lot of the junglers can hop over walls anyway. So, nah.
So
but
whenever
it's effective in both cases.
It is. I think that it opens up a couple of different jungle routes, but it's not like changes the entire jungling game. So I'm going with defense on this
we
one.
agree that on both sides. Slide number 2. Going to IEM worth or not worth? Oh, for the teams, is what I've just been told. Was it worth for the teams? It was worth it for Flash Wolves, let me tell you, because they were able to go 7-1 and win.
It's hard to say as an NA player because NA didn't go at all. And for us, I feel like it was worth it because we didn't lose.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? In some of the IEMs, when they've had the really short tournaments and you show up and play like 1 or 2 games and then go home, I say that's not worth it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be successful like the Flash Wolves and play like 4 days worth of competitive games, I think that's absolutely worth it.
For Flash Wolves, definitely worth it. I think for the European teams, definitely worth it because you don't have to sacrifice much travel time at all.
It depends on the investment of travel time too and the jet lag.
I do want to actually analyze why all the North American teams didn't go though, right? Because we should break it down here. Why was it not worth it for the North American teams? The travel time is a large portion of travel time. You could spend that an extra entire day and maybe even 2 days counting jet lag and stuff.
From Los Angeles,
practicing here,
it's roughly 18 to 20 hours in airports or planes, both ways.
And the difference between scrimming against the European teams or the North American teams, a lot of the North American teams decided that wasn't big enough difference.
No SKT was there, no KT was there.
You've already got your scrim partners. You can block it down. It's a routine. I feel like it's just so much easier.
Yeah, I'd say for NA it was not worth, and that's why they didn't go. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, same.
Yep,
Classic NA.
Slide number 3. We're gonna get in there. Worst decision: UOL base rush or fly crush Shaco. Ooh.
So I have played Shaco. It was the first champion I ever played. It was the first champion I ever made. I love Shaco to death. Moon had an unfortunate game on Shaco. I still think playing Shaco is a good decision for professional play. I think it can work. This rush for the base race,
yeah, I remember this play.
It looked so cool because you're like, Tom Kench, into Rise,
they had
into
so much
everybody's
stuff
in there.
going on.
But they didn't wait till at least Elder Dragon fell off of G2 or they moved. Or...
This was a bad decision because of the execution. They had the ability to flank from 3 angles, 1 with teleport, 2 with Tom Kench, and 2 with Rise. But instead, they put 4 people in the same spot and everyone died. So it was really bad.
And they were 1 hit away. Even with doing that, they were only 1 hit away. They were so close.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the UOL base rush was a worse decision because they were impatient.
I think it was definitely a worse execution. I think the idea of like
that was pretty bad.
Tom Kench. You're right.
This is hard.
Right. I'm wrong. You're very much right. This was definitely a worse execution.
Yeah. But the decision,
as far as decision to do it,
we're indecisive today. Speaking of decisions,
I'm
gonna say UOL base rush.
I'm gonna go with that
because they just did it wrong. They decided to do it the wrong way.
We have heard that, Shaco, they had practice on it. It was a bad game.
We have 6 slides. We're only on slide number 3. We got to get to the next one.
I feel so
number
bad.
4, King of the Jungle, Rengar or K6.
After the nerfs, this is interesting because these are two both nerfed. I would say, trick question, Graves is the king of the jungle. False! Graves is the king of the jungle.
Yeah, between these two, since there used to be like the lore rivalry between Rengar and Kha'Zix, I'm gonna side with Kha'Zix, actually, right now.
I'm gonna write in Graves. Can I not write in here this or that?
You're gonna do the other thing?
Graves?
In which case, I would do Ivern, because I feel like
Graves.
he's ridiculous right now.
We are both gonna write our own answers in.
Right, Ivern.
Okay, I go Graves.
I like Ivern personally still because so many of the junglers have gotten nerfed, jungle camps have gotten harder to take. That hasn't touched Ivern at all.
Funny thing is, if our two picks match up against each other, Graves has a good advange. He can knock back Daisy.
Ooh.
He can damage through Daisy,
Whoa.
kill Ivern, way more. All right,
close.
I think we have to settle this one at a later this or that thing. We have to play a game.
Yeah, we'll play against each other, Ivern versus Graves. We'll wait until.
But we need to keep going though.
Slide number 5. This is the hour-long episode of This or That. Better for Team Liquid, Piglet in the mid lane or Piglet as the carry?
So we were actually just talking about this because, you know, obviously big news here with Team Liquid doing tryouts.
Yeah.
Now Piglet, whenever you spend so much time in a role, you know all the different matchups, you know every little thing about it. Obviously switching to mid lane, it's gonna take him a long time. Even if he's a good player, even if he has a good mid lane mechanics, to learn all of the current matchups as they stand right now. So that's gotta be worse.
Neither of these situations are good, is the problem. Because Piglet was a good AD carry when he was playing carries. He has not been a good Varus and Jhin player. And he gets frustrated with the role. But like, you're gonna play mid lane, you're role swapping. Those are hardly ever successful and almost never right away. And the thing is, it wasn't like he was excelling as an AD carry, so I think neither of these are good. I think this one is potentially worse, unless his mentality was so toxic and negative that he had to be put in the position where he thinks he can carry.
Thing is,
Golden Glue wasn't performing. If Piglet can perform, sure. But this is not good.
I feel like that's a good way to put it, is sure, because how can it get worse? They're already in 10th place.
Maybe, right? I think it's a desperation move. Sometimes those pay off because you're willing to take big risks. Better.
So you're gonna say that's better? No. I would say that's better.
I think AD carry is better. I think it's a role he's been playing for 4.5 to 5 years, and if the lethality nerfs kick in and he's able to play more Caitlyn, he's good at that.
True. But is it better for Team Liquid? I'll go with the mid lane so that they can switch it up.
I've been told our music is running out, so we're gonna get to the next slide.
Quick, do it!
Quick,
to the next
all right,
one.
we're gonna go. Next slide.
Better challenger team.
Better challenger team.
That's just a flame. This is a flame slide. Is this the last one? This must be the last
They're
one.
not challenger teams. Well, technically,
this team is higher than this team currently, right?
Team Liquid Academy has a better challenger team than Envy's non-existent challenger team, I would have to say.
I'm gonna say this squad because currently they're technically above Team Liquid. So this is an easy one. Yeah,
and as an experimentation, when Lear was out, they put their mid laner in a different role and they had a jungler sub go mid lane. Typically, after the role swaps don't work. I don't think it's gonna work for Team Liquid, so I'm actually gonna go with Envy.
Let's wrap it up. I'm also going Envy, but that's gonna be enough for this or that. We will clean it up for next week.
Yeah, I think so. That's all the slides. We had an EU slide today. Go us. We did. We also talked about EU and IM, so all right, let's get that cross-regional viewership kicking.
All right, Tyler, let's get out of here.
See you next time.